Okay, so this technique is going to deal with a lot of the time when you're knife fighting. I come to stab and then he comes to stab, and people do end up here. So it's both of us holding each other's hands. So initially here I can't wait too long, because if I do, then that's where he's going to have a chance to do what he's going to do and cut me. One of the first things you can do is the second you feel his hand come here, is you could just right away put pressure on his wrist and take the knife, place the outside of the blade right on the wrist, and just start cutting. That might get him to let go, and then you can continue and do your disarm or whatever. So number one is we connect. Oh, he comes to stab me, I block it. Immediately, I take the blade and I put it on the outside, and I just drive in. I move my body into the blade also, so I'm reinforcing. So here his wrist gets put in a bad spot. The blade is like this against the wrist, and I drive. Okay? If he's strong, and I get to here and I'm not able to move him, I'm just gonna pull and come to the other wrist. Okay, so I first try and go this way. He's strong, he's resisting. Okay, I'm just gonna pull and drive outward. Now all I'm doing is I'm taking the blade of the knife and I'm placing it on this wrist. The reason it's good is because he's not expecting like that type of motion. He's usually resisting this way. See, I can't move him this way at all, right? It's impossible, but that way is really easy. I'm also passing the knife to a safe spot. This knife. So as he first starts to try and resist me this way, I just come and I cut in on this wrist. Next one, I push in. He's very strong and he's resisting. I'm going to pull back, bring the knife over, straight down, open up, and stab. I'll do it from another angle. So here now, I'm trying to push in. I can't move at all. He's being really strong. And you see he's stiff arming me here? It makes it really easy. I can feel his weights pushing into me. Whenever you feel this, like they're driving you back, which a lot of the time they will start pushing and trying to drive you back, let them use their force. So here I just want to go back with the wall. So as I'm here and I feel that pressure, I let it, I bring my hand up, because what that does is it changes the angle of the energy. And now the knife comes on top of his hand, straight down, open it up, so that I don't want to walk into his blade. So if I come here, he might have enough energy to get me also here. But if I go here, down, up, his blade is completely out of the way. Very easy to disarm also. One more time. Here, he's stiff arming me, he's pushing me back. I let him, but I lift up. Straight down. Open, stab. Now the disarm is, I'm already holding the wrist. Take the knife, place it here. See the angle of the wrist? It's a really easy disarm. Okay? Now sometimes, I try and pull him back, and he pulls me into him, right? That's what's happening now. And he does that because he's trying to pull me into his own blade. So as I feel that tug, I'm going to set that up. I'm going to come under his armpit, right? Now look, see how my head is up? My head's not like this. I'm using my body and my hips forward. Now all I do is I pop. You see? And in that pop, I circle. So one more time. So I can even do a setup. I can pull him back so he pulls me into him and then come here. Circle. And then stab. You can come over the top, you can come under the legs, cut off his privates. I'll do it from the other side. So I tug at him so he pulls me in. You see that reaction? So now I tug back, I lift up. Under here, you see how I'm still holding this wrist? I tug, boom, underneath, neck. Okay? Now, sometimes you're dealing with someone who's really adamant about just trying to stab you over and over. And you feel it. You feel like it gets to be ridiculous and you're too nervous to move or to do something, like it's a big motion. So all you're going to do is you're going to take that energy of him, if I wasn't resisting, he would just be doing that, of that energy, and I'm just changing the direction. It's really easy because the harder he pushes, the more his hand's going to go flying up. Okay? Now we end up in this position. It's very important that my knife is not here, but inside here. The sharp part of the blade. I'm locking the crux of his arm and just disarming. Now here I can cut, and I can also disarm this hand. One more time. And it also depends how he reacts, right? So if I get to here and he's pushing, I just change the direction. Now if this, see, he's still stiff arming like crazy here. Makes it really easy. But if he bends, right, it's the exact same thing. So one more time he's stabbing. I just change the direction. See where we go? Now we're right here. through, take both hands, and I have a takedown. I can also just disarm. You're kind of putting him in this position. Now what makes that technique work, whether his arm is straight or not, is that the elbow, just without knives, the elbow is pushed in, so this hand can't hold on to the blade because it's breaking his arm. That's it. So those are 4 or 5 techniques for disarming when you both have knives.